Alright, hey guys. I got asked a question about showing how to set it behind a rifle for a beginner. So basically I'm going to hit the prone. I believe that is the intended position that the question was directed towards. It didn't specifically state. Again, I could do another one for a positional or tripod in the future. Not a big issue. More than happy to. So if this doesn't answer the question, please, I can't remember your handle right now, just throw it in the comments and I will make another one, and specifically towards the question if this doesn't fit the bill. Alright, so the big thing is we're going to have the rifle oriented towards our target. Right now I have it towards the camera in the basement up against the wall, so I don't have an actual target. And then you're going to take your bag. I will always put my rear bag off to the left within an arm's reach, because I'm going to set my position up first and then introduce the bag into the system at the end, right? So normally you'll want to, most people will stand square behind the gun, right? I will usually come off slightly to the left, knowing that my face is going to have to go around the cheek piece to get behind the scope. So I do it ahead of time. A lot of guys are trained and still do right down the center, and you'll just have to make that adjustment as you come down. Either way works, not a big deal. All right, so you'll come down. Usually we'll get into a push-up position. So we come right down behind the gun, and then the non-firing hand will grab the bottom of the rifle, bring it up into the shoulder, wrap around, come towards your pistol grip. Now normally, before I grab the pistol grip, I would do a sanity check, and I would let go of the rifle completely and just have it in my shoulder in the ground. But because I'm on wood floor, metal spike feet for my bipods, because I don't have my rubber feet, it's going to slide. As you can see, it will drop. So I'm going to bring it up just for the sake of holding it and keeping it in place. Right, I would do that sanity check. Once that's good, I can see my intended target. Then I'm going to grab my bag, slide it down into the gap between the gun itself and the ground. Right, I'm not trying to push the gun down into the bag. I'm putting the bag up into the gun. So then that way it's filling the space, providing the support I need, and then the amount of tension I place on the bag with my non-firing hand to keep it where I need is just depending on the angle at which I need to get into the target. And then making sure that my body is completely square behind the gun. Now normally, if I feel I'm off and I have to shift left or right, you're going to do that from your hips. It's like where your belt buckle would be, right? So you're going to toes up, elbows, and I'm going to move my hips first, and then the body will follow, and then I'll shift. Right? And now if I need to go the other way, toes up, on the elbows to the left, and shift. Okay? Normally the gun won't slide, but again, the wood floor, so I apologize. But I'm usually trying to get down behind the, slide into the gun, not shift targets or anything like that, where it's a different scenario. Okay? So then I get on target, I bring my bolt down, and you do your natural breathe, reticle squeeze, point, aim, shoot. You'll know you're good, right? Upper body wise, usually you should be able to manipulate all the controls back here between safety and the bolt itself and the trigger without having to move your firing elbow. Some movement is not a big deal, but what you don't want to be doing is reaching and having to reset your grip the whole time and come back. Okay. You'll want your elbows as square as you can be, perpendicular to your target. All right, so you don't want to be bladed like this or bladed like this. You want to be as square as you can, as best as your body will allow. I'm always slightly forward left, and that's just because I have shorter arms. So I can't be perfectly like this unless I'm resting up on my elbows. You'll see my elbows wobbling back and forth. So I'm trying to be on the meat of my forearms and the bone of my elbow, but not directly on that loose skin that would cause all this wobble. Okay, so back in, and that's basically it, right? So it's not a super complicated process, just a handful of steps. Again, stand square behind the rifle, come down to the push-up position. As you come down from that push-up position, if you are perfectly centered, you'll slide left or right based off left or right-handed shooter, and then you'll bring the gun down up, the gun from the ground up into the shoulder, and then if you get sanity check, you should be able to let go of the gun, and it should rest in your shoulder and on the bipods if you're on proper ground, like dirt, grass, whatever, obviously not slick floor. Then you'll bring your hand to the pistol grip. Once you have the control with your pistol grip in your shoulder, then you'll grab your bag, slide it into the gap, fill in that negative space adjust the bag to fill the space, not adjusting the gun to meet the bag. And then you go through your firing process, you know, obviously getting on target, elevation, wind, getting condition 1, all those things that you would normally do. Hopefully this helps at least the one dude who asked the question. Anybody else that was curious, I hope this helps you guys out too. If you have any more specific questions, please let me know. Now that I have like a basement to play around in, I can do some more stuff and get a little bit more specific in answering questions. All right, guys, later.